Meet up close and personal hip-hop artist Sean S.B. Butler. S.B. is changing the way many of us view hip-hop music. Welcome to The Greatness in You. Today, our topic is change. Life is like the four seasons. There will be change. Learn to accept change. Joining me today is a young man, Sean S.B. Butler, who's on the forefront of a hip-hop revolution. He's changing how we've come to know hip-hop music. Welcome to The Greatness in You, Sean.
Thank you, Dr. Horton. I'm honored to be here.
Yes. Sean, you were named one of the top artists in 2011 and one of Chicago's 10 hottest rising hip-hop stars by the Chicago Tribune. Tell me, how did all of this happen?
Well, I love when people ask me questions like that because I always ask, which answer do you want? Do you want, I guess, the stereotypical answer that a lot of artists might give, which basically pats themselves on the back and says, yes, I strategized it, I am the mastermind, I am the genius of my ship, or do you want the real answer? And I would say that the things that have happened and the opportunities that have come my way have really all been God-given and God-driven. I think we all come here with certain talents, we all come here with certain affinities and certain abilities, but it's God that creates those opportunities. It's God that gives us those talents, and we just have to basically show up and give it the best that we have when those opportunities present themselves.
So I'm hearing something about a mission, a purpose in life.
Absolutely.
What motivated you to attempt to change the hip-hop genre?
Well, I started out like many of the people in my peer group, just loving hip-hop. Mm-hmm. And when I originally remember being introduced to hip-hop, there were a lot more positive messages. There was much more of a spectrum out there, if you would. Mm-hmm. But when I looked around, I still didn't quite find that hip-hop hero, if you would, right, that I was looking for. Even the conscious artists had a certain element of maybe misogyny or a certain element of profanity in their music. And I really wanted something that was more true to what was speaking to me and what I wanted to hear. And it dawned on me, instead of trying to search for this mythical hero, why don't you just be that hero to yourself and to the world? So that's when I began, my mission in writing and recording. And it's brought me to the point where I am right now in this musical journey, privileged and honored to be able to be on a show like this.
As you know, before the show, I was wearing short pants, right?
Yes, sir.
And I didn't have a belt. And so my pants were kind of hanging down because I had keys in my pocket. Mm-hmm. What is this image with the pants down on the butt?
Well, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of what you see in hip-hop culture literally comes from jail culture. In jail and the streets, which in many cases tend to be synonymous. Mm-hmm. But in jail, that actually is a sign, and most people don't realize that, letting people know that you're available for certain types of advances. Same thing with the shoelaces. There are just certain things in jail culture that make their way back out on the streets, and you find that a lot of young people end up emulating these things because the people that they see, they may think they're cool, they want to be like them, they want to quote unquote get money like them, and they start emulating these habits without knowing that there's another reason and the true reason, I guess, behind a lot of the things that people are doing.
We were listening to your tape last night, and it seemed to be a new message that you're working on getting to the masses. Mm-hmm. So tell me about this new message.
I think the core of it, and the reason why I entitled the album Revolution, is the power and really speaking to the power of the individual to be a catalyst for mass change on a collective level. Mm-hmm. And when I say mass change, I mean mass change from a positive standpoint. We have so many things that are out there that are distracting our youth, I think leading them like lemmings over a cliff into just the wrong types of opportunities, if you would. Mm-hmm. And I feel that music and entertainment in general have such a power to influence people. I think as artists and as people that are part of the mass media, we have a responsibility and we have an obligation to use that power for good.
And it is a powerful medium because your thoughts influence the way you think and act.
Absolutely.
Your behavior. And if you have these negative thoughts, these negative images in your mind, it's going to lead to negativity.
As they say, as a man thinketh, so he is. So.
Yes. At an early age, you shared the billing with celebrated hip-hop artists. What contributed to your success?
I would say first and foremost, the family foundation that I have. I come from a very large family where the men are present. Obviously, my father was a huge role model for me. And in contrast, I think, to what you're seeing a lot of times in hip hop culture, a lot of the people that we see that are superstars right now came up in fatherless homes. But my father was there for me. He led me down the right path. He modeled what being a man and a person that contributes to not just the community, but to the world is really about. And that in itself is a blessing, and it's something that I feel I'm responsible for sharing with other people and modeling to other people.
Now, when you're performing with these major stars, how receptive are the average hip-hop listener to your new music?
I think they're very receptive. I think what you're finding is that you almost have a bottleneck that exists in the industry right now where there's only a certain type of hip-hop music that's being allowed to dominate the airwaves. I think that I know for a fact, because I go into the schools through a program that I have called the REACH program, which is about revitalizing education, art, and culture through hip-hop. Whenever I'm in front of the students, they pull me aside and they say, we love what you do. We love what Common does. We love the conscious music that Lupe Fiasco is making. We also like some of the other stuff too, but we like you guys and we want to hear more of you. We just don't get the opportunity to hear you on the radio. So I think it's about making us more available to the common public, and I think you'll see more people requesting the music.
When my producers and I were listening to your music last night, we loved it as well.
Thank you.
But we have to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll hear what our friends on Facebook are saying about change. But first, I thought you might like to hear what people on the street have to say about today's hot topic.
I would define change as just kind of going with what life throws at you and then just being able to adapt.
Everything changes. I feel like change is healthy for the body and the mind also.
My life changes regularly. I make decisions based on what's going to cause more contentment in my life, where I want to be, what I'd rather be doing. So I change jobs, careers, where I live, where I travel.
I think change is necessary in order for any type of growth and stuff. I really think that change has to take place, whether it's a change for the better, sometimes it even takes a change for the worse in order for the best things to happen. So change is necessary, I think.
Discover the personal powers that unlock the genius and greatness in you. Will Horton, author of the Wisdom for Greatness series, has written a breakthrough book, The 30 Power Principles, 30 life-changing principles that will help to give birth to your greatness. The 30 Power Principles can help you awaken and bring forth infinite possibilities for happiness, health, success, and greatness. Buy it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
The 52 Principles for Successful Living, Keys to Success and Victorious Living by Will Horton will elevate your mind, lift your spirit, and take you to the pinnacle of success. They provide the key to success. They will connect you to the power of your higher self. Buy it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books Incorporated at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
Will Horton Power Thoughts on Hopes and Dreams, and Will Horton Power Thoughts on Success and Winning. are a recipe for success. They will help you give life to your hopes and dreams and put you in the power zone. Power thoughts condition your mind to triumph over negativity and the powerless thoughts that lead to hopelessness and lowered ambitions. They condition your mind for success. You become what you dream, believe, expect, and have faith that you will achieve. These power thoughts will motivate, inspire, and empower you to achieve success and greatness. Buy them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books at 773-445-2400. Shipping is free.
The ABCs of Success, A to Z Rules and Action Steps for Success by Will Horton will help give rise to victorious living. They will help you condition your mind for success, keep a positive attitude, get in the success zone, achieve success and victory. Buy it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books Incorporated at 773-445-2400 for free shipping. The Biblical Success Principles, The Laws and Power of God by Will Horton is a theology of success. The Biblical Success Principles book and study guide can be used to bring forth God's will and purpose for your life. Buy them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books Incorporated at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
Welcome back. We're talking about change. Before the break, we began talking to Sean S.B. Butler about how he plans to change hip-hop music as we've come to know it. You're not the same person you've always been. You've changed. Your development is lifelong. You change. The self emerges, and you become your greater self. Number one, accept change as a process of human life. The world is not going to change. You have to change. Number two, change is constant as long as you live. Number three, learn to tolerate change. You cannot change the direction of the storm, but you can change your path. Number four, learn to accept change. When you accept the reality of change in your life, you'll be more confident and self-assured in dealing with change. Let's go to Facebook and see what people are saying about change. Our internet reporter, Danae, is joining me.
Thank you, Will. Olivia said, I have always believed that you should not fear change. The most effective way to cope with change is to face it. Doris said, change is evidence in a changing world. William said, today the world is changing. If we are going to keep up with the world's progress, we must learn to master change. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Danae. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get up close and personal with Sean S.B. Butler. Stay with us.
All my players, put your hands in the air. You're out for a Claire Huxtable. So intelligent and lovable, so compatible and beautiful. Never pull silly things they pull. I'm looking for a Claire Huxtable.
For the best in limousine service, ride with a Butler. Call Butler Limousine, 708-758-5466. Will Horton's Power Quotes is a 6-volume collection of power quotes that will get you in the power zone. Volume 1, Power for Dreams. Volume 2, Power for Success. Volume 3, Power for Hopes. Volume 4, Power for Winning. Volume 5, Power for Greatness. Volume 6, Power for Life. Future success awaits those who make the best use of the present, says Horton. Will Horton's Power Quotes. The 6-volume set is available at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
Discover the personal powers that unlock the genius and greatness in you. Will Horton has written a breakthrough book, The 30 Power Principles, 30 life-changing principles that will help to give birth to your greatness. The book and workbook will bring forth happiness, health, success, and greatness. Buy them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books Incorporated at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
Martin Luther King Jr. is a Hero, an inspirational book for children from early childhood through middle and late childhood. Martin Luther King Jr. is a Hero will help parents and children better plan their life's journey, aim, and destination. The book will help young children give birth to their dreams. Buy it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books at 773-445-2400. As always, shipping is free.
Make your child head of the class. Head of the Class Early Childhood Development Center, 1900 East 87th Street, Chicago. Committed to excellence in education. Call 773-721-7500.
Welcome back. I have the rising star, Sean S.B. Butler, with me. Sean, your music is causing a lot of interest and excitement, both locally and nationally, and even internationally. What has contributed to this rise of SB?
I think mainly because of the messages that are contained in the music, speaking to everyday things that people are facing as far as challenges. The music talks about disparity, but it also has a message of hope in it. It talks about rising above, and hopefully at the core of it, there's a message of love. That's what I'm trying to put out there, is that as individuals, we all have the power to affect change on the world at large, and hopefully that comes from a love within that people can see. I want, hopefully, people to see me as a light, and to take that inspiration and be motivated and inspired by that to also become a light within their social circles.
Great. As a young man, and especially a hip-hop artist, you've achieved many successes at an early age. Tell me about those successes.
Well, I was blessed early on to meet a guy by the name of Bushwick Bill. Ironically enough, he was from a group called the Ghetto Boys. He happened to be in town when my family was having one of their annual family get-togethers. He stayed at the hotel. One of my cousins saw him in the hallway, invited him to come out. And just as we always do, in my family, you have to perform. It doesn't matter if you sing, rap, tell jokes, or whatever, you had to do some type of performance. So as usual, I got up on the mic, I started performing with my cousins, and he pulled my uncle to the side. He said, "Yo, who is this guy?" He's like, "Oh, that's my nephew." And he goes, "This guy has the skills to make mills. You know, does he have a demo tape? You know, what's he doing with this?" And my uncle was like, "Well, he's always doing that rap stuff. I don't know." But my uncle Gil Walker, being the businessman that he was and really wanting to help me, he decided to give me a loan to help me record my first demo tape. And from there, it just branched out into more opportunities. I met DJ Icy Dre, who DJ'd with Twista. I eventually ended up meeting Hula and Azza, who did Summertime for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, which ultimately led me to working with No ID, who most people know from working with Common, Jay-Z, Drake, and a whole host of other artists. It really was a domino effect, almost a chain reaction, but I have to give it up to God, because I know that those type of opportunities could only be presented to me in my life through him. A lot of people have talent. A lot of people work hard to make a success of themselves, but they don't always receive some of the opportunities that I've received. So I'm very thankful and I'm very humbled by that.
I'm happy to hear about your successes, but I know that there must have been some stumbling blocks along the way. Tell me about some of those stumbling blocks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you face stumbling blocks every day. I can remember when I used to fly back and forth out to New York on a regular basis, just trying to, make people familiar with SB and the music. And I can remember meeting with different labels who told me how much they loved me, but we think you're too cerebral, Sean. The people are stupid. They're not going to be able to receive these messages that you're giving them. But that never stopped me from persevering, because I felt God speaking to me from the beginning saying, hey, I have this under control. All I need you to do is show up. I prepared people's hearts. They're going to receive you the way that they're going to receive you. I just need you to deliver the message.
Now, speaking of the message, I've been listening to your motivational lyrics, and I'm impressed.
Thank you.
And I'm not easily impressed.
I
thought
that.
today that I would, wear my short pants down, when I produce a book to you, I said, okay. But I saw you and you're dressed, and I saw the exterior of you. But as we began to talk, I saw the interior of you. I saw the character of the man. Tell me about the character of SB.
I'm about positivity at the end of the day. I love God and I love people. And I feel to whom much is given, much is required. So I don't know how much time I have here, Dr. Horton. Mm-hmm. So I believe that, as Barack Obama would say, I think there's an urgency. There's the urgency of now. When we look at these kids dying here in Chicago every summer, it's not just something that's just a local epidemic. It's something that I think we're seeing all across the world. That speaks to me. That's what drives me every day.
Right.
And I believe in the power of music. I believe in the power of the word. I believe that God created this world and everything around us through the spoken word. So I have a responsibility to use that gift to uplift people and to hopefully change our environment. And I have a young daughter, as you saw, that I met, and I want to leave her with a better world than what I see around us today. And that takes work, and I'm willing to sacrifice myself 24/7 to do that.
How did she influence your music?
Well, I think so much of what I'm doing in the music was just already stamped in me in terms of the way that I was brought up, my family, and my decision to go against the grain and put those positive messages out there. But I will say that my daughter makes me that much more sensitive to the perception of me globally, the messages that I hear on the radio. I don't even allow her to listen to the radio. But even just the things that I say, I'm very meticulous in trying to make sure that I cover a wide audience. I want people from my father, not only my father's generation and my grandparents' generation, but I want people from my peer group, the current generation, and my daughter's generation to be able to all sit down as a village, hear the music, and to be able to take something positive away from it. So yes, she has influenced me in terms of making sure that I also keep certain things very simple in it so that a 3-year-old can hear the music and be able to receive it and be enriched by it.
I love it. Sean S.B. Butler has much more to share with us when we come back. We'll find out what life lessons he's learned. Stay with us.
Discover the personal powers that unlock the genius and greatness in you. Will Horton has written a breakthrough book, The 30 Power Principles, 30 life-changing principles that will help to give birth to your greatness. The book and workbook will bring forth happiness, health, success, and greatness. Buy them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books Incorporated at 773-445-2400 for free shipping. Make your child head of the class. Head of the Class Early Childhood Development Center, 1900 East 87th Street, Chicago. Committed to excellence in education. Call 773-721-7500.
Wisdom Keys for Greatness, Rules of Success for Teens, book and workbook by Will Horton will get you ready for success. Rules of Success for Teens prepares you for future success and greatness. The rule of conduct for tomorrow's success is to prepare for it today. Be ready to board the success train when it stops at your station in life. Buy them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or call Wisdom Books at 773-445-2400 for free shipping.
Welcome back. We're talking about change with Sean S.B. Butler. S.B., what are some life lessons you've learned?
I'd say first and foremost, in God we trust. That's gotten me through so many different hard times. I can remember many years back at an incident where a minor surgery turned into a major situation for me in the hospital, and I almost actually died. And it made me think about quite a few things when you're kind of facing death. A lot of the things that the world tells you are important take on no meaning whatsoever for you. And what I was left with is one that I wanted everyone, not just my family and not just my friends within my personal circle, but I wanted everybody that I interacted with to be able to feel the love that I have in my heart for God and for people. Just even in the smallest interactions, even if I'm walking down the street and I just have that brief momentary interaction with a stranger, I wanted people to feel that love coming from me in my person, but definitely in my music and in my movement. So it became important for me to always remember that regardless of whatever challenges I may face in terms of the record industry or in terms of people necessarily being responsive to the messages, that it's God that I trust in, not my own abilities per se, but I trust in God to see this thing through to where He wants to take it. All I have to do is show up and give it my best.
Thanks for your light in the hip-hop genre.
Thank you.
Great advice, SB. Thanks for sharing, and thank you for joining us on The Greatness in You. I want to hear from you. Send me your success stories or comments about success and greatness. Email me at willhorton@the30powerprinciples.com. Friend me on Facebook at Will Horton. Follow me on Twitter at Will_Horton. Like us on Facebook. I look forward to meeting you one day and hearing about your journey to success and greatness. Remember, you have to give birth to the greatness in you.
It's a revolution of your body. It's a revolution of your soul train. Ready for war, cause I never known peace. Never known home, all I know is in the east. Strongest of the strong, cause only supermen and women survive the middle passes that long.
This has been a W. Wharton production.